Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Avicii, the brilliant, burning light of modern electronic music. Few artists in the 21st century reshaped global pop and dance music as profoundly as Avicii. Born Tim Bergling on September 8, 1989 in Stockholm, Sweden, he rose from a bedroom producer posting remixes online to one of the most influential electronic musicians of his generation. In the brief span of his career, he bridged worlds that rarely collided, blending EDM with country, folk, soul, and pop with a natural ease that altered the sound of mainstream radio. Early sparks and digital beginnings. Avicii grew up in a creative household, picking up an interest in music and digital production as a teenager. While many of his peers were simply exploring music casually, he dove headfirst into online communities, sharing early tracks and connecting with DJs and producers around the world. This DIY digital era became the launchpad for his career. In 2008 and 2009 he released early singles under various aliases, but the world took notice when he dropped Bromance in 2010. A track that showcased both his melodic instinct and his ability to create emotionally resonant dance music. Superstardom and genre fusion. The moment that changed everything came in 2011 with Levels, built around a vocal sample from Etta James. The song became a global anthem and unofficial blueprint for the EDM explosion of the early 2010s. Its soaring synth lines, euphoric drop, and unmistakable riff cemented Avicii as the new face of electronic music. Yet Avicii wasn't satisfied with being predictable. In 2013, he shocked the ultra-purist EDM world by fusing bluegrass and country elements into his debut album True. Lead single, Wake Me Up, featuring Aloe Black, became one of the most streamed songs of all time and expanded the very definition of what a dance track could be. He followed the same spirit of experimentation with songs like Hey Brother, Addicted to You, and later, Waiting for Love, and The Nights. His melodic fingerprints were unmistakable. Bright synths, heartfelt chord progressions, and a sense of optimism even in introspective moments. A touring star under pressure. Behind the global success was an intense schedule. Avicii became one of the highest-paid DJs in the world, performing non-stop at festivals, stadiums, and clubs from Las Vegas to Ibiza. The glamour masked a growing struggle. Relentless touring took a toll on his physical and mental health. By 2016, he made the surprising announcement that he would retire from touring entirely to focus on music and his well-being. The decision, praised by some and questioned by others, marked a rare moment of vulnerability in an industry often driven by pressure. Tragic loss and powerful legacy. On April 20, 2018. Avicii died while traveling in Oman at just 28 years old. His passing shocked the music world and sparked conversations about mental health in high-pressure creative industries. Tributes poured in from fans, artists, and DJs everywhere, many crediting him for inspiring them to pursue music. A posthumous album, Tim, was released in 2019, built from tracks he left behind. Songs like SOS and Heaven serve as emotional reminders of his talent, sensitivity, and the musical directions he was beginning to explore. Impact that still echoes. Avicii's influence remains enormous. He didn't just create hits, he shaped the sound of an era. His blend of acoustic warmth and electronic energy still echoes in modern pop. And his emphasis on melody continues to inspire a new generation of producers. Most importantly, his story humanized the high-speed world of fame. Avicii was a visionary who wanted to make beautiful music, not just be a star. The industry learned from his journey, and the conversations his life sparked continue to push for healthier, more sustainable paths for artists. His music still fills festival stages, gym playlists, road trip speakers, and quiet late-night moments. And every time those familiar chords hit, Avicii's light flickers on again. The craft behind the sound of Avicii had a way of writing melodies that felt instantly familiar, almost nostalgic, even on first listen. Producers who worked with him often talked about his melodic intuition, a kind of instinctual compass that let him sketch emotional arcs without overthinking. His studio sessions were famously intense. He would loop sections for hours, testing variations one after another until every detail clicked into place. What set him apart wasn't just skill but taste. Where many EDM producers chased harder drops or more aggressive builds, Avicii leaned into emotion. He loved blending organic instruments with digital soundscapes. Acoustic guitars strumming along to shimmering synth pads, gospel vocals lifting electronic beats, fiddles dancing across kick drums. This mix became his signature. Tracks like The Nights and Hey Brother almost read like folk stories retold on a neon-lit dance floor. Collaborations and global reach. As his career expanded, so did his circle of collaborators. He worked with Aloe Blacc, Nicky Romero, Coldplay, Rita Ora, Zac Brown, Leona Lewis, Wyclef Jean, and countless others. These weren't just feature swaps. Avicii often played a core role in shaping the songwriting itself, bringing ideas to artists who wouldn't normally step into the EDM space. For example, A Sky Full of Stars, arguably one of Coldplay's biggest modern hits, was co-produced by Avicii. His influence is unmistakable in the song's soaring energy and stadium-sized optimism. His music didn't just hit charts, it traveled everywhere. You heard it at Ultra Miami, in suburban car rides, in quiet headphones during late-night homework sessions, at weddings, at festivals, in mall speakers, and on countless YouTube edits. His songs became part of the emotional soundtrack of an entire generation. A private person in a public world, fame arrived extremely fast for Avicii. And he often described himself as introverted. The sudden expectation to perform non-stop, pose for photos, shake hands, and entertain crowds of hundreds of thousands didn't align with his natural temperament. Documentaries like Avicii: True Stories later revealed how conflicted he felt about the pressure to keep touring. He frequently expressed that he loved creating music but struggled with the lifestyle attached to it. Even during peak success, he remained humble, soft-spoken, almost shy. Fans and collaborators remembered him as gentle and deeply thoughtful, someone who cared more about the craft than the spotlight. A turning point, the end of touring in March 2016, when Avicii announced his retirement from touring, it sent shockwaves through the industry. At just 26, walking away from multi-million-dollar bookings and global fame seemed unthinkable. But for him, it was survival. His health had suffered from years of stress, poor sleep, and complications from acute pancreatitis. Away from the stage, he seemed to find a brief sense of clarity. He traveled, explored new cultures, reconnected with family and friends, and poured himself back into pure creation. Those around him said he rediscovered joy in music during this period. The world didn't see him on stage, but behind the scenes he was composing some of the most thoughtful and introspective work of his life. The music left behind after his passing. Avicii's family and collaborators faced a difficult choice: what to do with the unfinished music he left behind. They ultimately decided to release Tim, an album built from detailed notes, demos, and partially finished songs. The project reveals a more mature, reflective version of Avicii. Tracks explore themes of self-doubt.
Bye bye, thanks for watching. Bye.